Good morning, everybody. It's Devette right here with you. Hope you're having a beautiful day and a beautiful morning. I just wanted to step in today and talk to you about my newest project. Voila! 31 Daily Inspirations for Extraordinary Women, written by extraordinary women such as yourself. I wanted to touch base with you guys and tell you how this project came to be and why I'm so excited about it. Because it's just making room for more and more projects. When God does something, guys, let me just tell you, He does it big, bigger than big. God is truly enough. So, December the 10th, I was on the phone talking to my beautiful editor about South Side of Heaven 3. Yes, it is definitely coming soon. So just kind of hang in there with me, guys. So I was talking to her about South Side of Heaven 3. And while we're talking, in the middle of us talking, I'm getting these thoughts in my head. And I'm seeing it just come together. See, that's what I'm telling you about God. God is so amazing. He's putting this thing together in my head. And and she's like, hey, what's going on? Because she can tell that I've stopped talking. I've stopped being invested in what we were talking about. Because I'm seeing this thing play out in my head. I'm seeing the whole outline and everything. So I told her, I was like, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I said, what if I got different women together to encourage other women? And she's like, because I know in her mind, she's thinking, we already have this project to do and you're bringing in another project. That's why it's good to have a team around you that understands the vision and they get it and they trust you enough because they've been with you long enough to know that you're not going down a dead alley here. So anyway, as we're talking, she's still talking about South Side of Heaven. I'm talking about an untitled book. And I'm writing down names. I'm just going through my list on Facebook, believe it or not. And I'm just going through people who have encouraged me with inspirational stuff that they put on, things that are encouraging, things that are not bashing, but things that are uplifting. And then I'm thinking in my mind, who do I know in my life that does that exact same thing? And with that, I had like a list of more than 31 women. But you know, with it being such a short timeline, I already knew there were going to be some women who just couldn't do it for whatever reason. They already had their own things going on or whatever. So immediately while we're talking, I make up this message and I just start shooting it out to people. It was such an informal message pretty much. So I'm sorry, you ladies. I'm sorry up front for however the message came out. Because I didn't edit it. I just wrote it out, typed it, and sent it out. So these women, it's so amazing that by the time her and I got off the phone, I already had a number of women who said yes. They said yes to the project. And by the time I made it home that evening, I had, I believe, 8, and within 1 hour, I only had 8 slots available. By the time I made it home, I had 3 slots available. So before I made it home, I contacted a friend and I said, hey, well, I texted her and I said, hey, is there any way you can schedule me for a praise party? I already knew God was doing something. And my faith was just pushing me forward. I was like, can you schedule me for a praise party? I know you guys may not do that, but I needed to get on her schedule. I need to get on her book so she could call me back. So by the time I got home, I talked to my sister. I told my sister about it, who is like one of my biggest supporters. Thank you, Renee. I love you. And she just prayed with me. That is powerful. I'm telling you, your circle is very important. These are people who are praying with you. These are people who are pushing you, people who are motivating you. It's important to have a good circle around you. Let me just plug that in right there. So after we got our phone, my friend was available. I told her about it and she got excited. And she started going into a praise with me. It was so crazy. Just thinking about it, I'm just tripping right now. She went into this total praise with me. Thank you, Shaquila, for always having my back. She totally went into this praise with me. So after that, after we got the phone, every slot was filled. All 31 days. Well, 30, because I took one day. Everybody has said yes to the project, and with them saying yes to the project birthed something so beautiful. Within that time, I let them know they only basically had from the 10th, which was already the 10th in the evening, to the 19th. That's not a lot of time for people who are not writers and really don't know what they're going to write about. I told them they could write about anything they wanted. Anything they wanted to write about, they could write. Whether it be about family, job, entertainment, laughter, anything. Marriage, singleness. They could write about anything they wanted. This project, to me, kind of set the stage for so many things, because within this project came breakthrough. Let me tell you how that happened. So, in the midst of the project, we're getting closer to the deadline, and I'm freaking out now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I already have like this many out and nobody's saying anything. So I'm sending these gentle, sweet reminders to everybody, like, please, quickly get it out. So I started having people calling me and saying, hey, can you schedule a meeting with me? I need to talk to you. And I'm thinking they're going to bag out. What am I going to do? Anxiety came. Anxiety. I'm honest with you guys. I started getting anxious. I'm like, oh God, what happened here? You know? And so I was like, how am I going to get this out at the beginning of the year if people are bagging out on me? And God, you know, I know a lot of people say that wasn't enough time, but I'm sitting here with proof that it was enough time. On January 3rd, this baby came out. So anyway, I was talking to some of the women, and they were struggling with their writing. I'm like, hey, it can be anything that's going to encourage somebody. It doesn't have to be about that. But who knew that God was doing something on the backside of this thing? Like, God was giving them breakthroughs. Some of them, this was a hard release for a lot of people to share some of this stuff that they shared in this book with you, to help you, because they knew that you may be going through something similar to this. Wow, let me tell you. I have so much love and respect for every woman in this book, you know, because it cost them something to give this to you. It cost them going to their secret place with God. It cost them reliving something that was hard and tragic and traumatic. It cost them themselves to give this to you. It cost them something. Man, I'm about to cry. Oh my gosh, like, this project cost them something to get this to you, because so many of these women have gone through so much, and when you see them all dressed up, you see them all beautiful, you see them all glamored up, but you don't know that inside they've been breaking, they've been broken. Some are healing and some are still going through it, as you'll see in the book. Some are still in the midst of their situation, yet they wrote this to you up until that point. That's the beauty of this thing. I'm telling you, this was all God. This was none of Nikki. This was all God, because these women, they went through something to produce to you the best of who they were and are. The rawness of who they are. The rawness of what they went through. Allowing you to come into their world, knowing that some people are going to judge them. Everybody who reads this and not reading for the right reasons, we know that. But they didn't care, because they understand where healing comes from. They understand how they were healed, and they understand that there are some women who are going through the exact same thing that they're going through. A lot of these women took off their church hats to show you them. And if you read it in my books, you know what I mean by church hats. Church hats are those women who pretend like they have it all together. They've never been stained by anything in life. They've always lived with this silver spoon in their mouth, and they always wear their hats just right, not a hair out of place. Oh my gosh, my hair is out of place. Not a hair out of place. They always seemingly have it together. And this just lets you know that the truth of the matter is your sister really doesn't have it all together. We're just piecing it together one piece at a time and trying to make it look good. So, to every woman in this book, and I want to call out the women's name, if you allow me to do that. Just give me a moment. Got to get myself together here, okay? And this is not in the order that the book is in. So just bear with me. Nikki Alsabrook, Derica Booker, Takoya Brooks, Kate Cassell. Now, if I say your name wrong, I'm sorry. I'm getting older, so it just comes out. Shakoya Wright Serta, that's my daughter. Amy Cunningham, Erin Dittman, Tiara Gandy, Cheryl Green, Micaiah Halliburton, Renee Halliburton, Catherine Hoffman, Elaine Holliday, Janet Jean, Patricia Limford, Ravonda Luttrell, Renee Mickens, Shaquila Perkins, Ruthie Phillips, Christy Rink, Susan Sheridan, Jillian Silman, Tiffany Smith, Venetia Sneed, Tiffany Stewart, Shelley Taylor, Javita Thompson, Now, Towie Webb, I cannot pronounce your first name, I'm sorry. Donna Wyatt, and to the parents of Caitlin Winchester. Those were all my writers, including myself. So let me tell you the way this book starts off. Everybody was given a template. We had to cut a lot of them down because they didn't fit within the template. So we had to cut. Everybody was given 1 to 2 pages to write on. The only person who has more than that is Caitlin Winchester, and I want to tell you why. Caitlin is no longer with us. She is my editor, Tammy Flores. That's her daughter. She went to be with the Lord, I believe, in 2019. Tammy will tell me if I'm wrong. She'll say, look in the book and see. Yes. May 14, 2019. The reason why she kind of kicks the book off is because she talks about faith, and she has one line in the book. I'm gonna give you the spoiler alert, okay? She has one part in this book at the very end. Caitlin had been through a lot. She had been through a lot physically, and mentally and emotionally. A beautiful young lady. To have known her is to have loved her. You're gonna fall in love with her in this book. She says, you will not always be strong in your faith. I surely wasn't. But I know that I'll see you in the next life, and I'll be doing cartwheels to show off my heavenly bod. That part, the way she led with this, with everything she went through in life, even at times questioning her faith, questioning herself, she never lost the fact that God is who he says he is. That's big for me. And I just wanted to honor her. So she is the only one. Okay, other writers, she is the only other writer that has more than 2 pages. And I think that this was in honor of her and every other woman who has inspired us. Again, I just want to kind of let you know that you never know. You never know who's watching you, who's paying attention to you. The proceeds of this book, let's talk about that. It goes to help the homeless, but in this case, the homeless are those women who have been battered. So it's going to Battered Women's Shelter. Yes, you may say they're not homeless, but they are, because they're not in their homes. So this is where it's going to. Okay, so it's called It's Personal. The way that's going to work is I'm going to ask every woman who knows a woman or women to share a flyer I'm going to post later on onto their page. And we're asking for purse donations, gently used. I got this from my friend Shaquila. She has good ideas, man. So if you have any gently used purses, or if you have a new purse that maybe you just like, okay, this purse is not working, I'm going to ask that you donate it to them. I would like to have this done and presented to them by Mother's Day. What It's Personal is about is if you have anything in your house that you think that another woman would want, Maybe you have some perfume you took 2 splashes of and you decided, no, that's not working. Maybe you could throw that in that purse, a scarf. Maybe if you have a scarf, maybe you could maybe throw that in it. This is my favorite one, so I'm probably going to throw it in it because I want to give somebody something that means something to me. So maybe you have that scarf that you want to give them. Maybe you have, anything, gosh, like your favorite gloves or something. Every purse will have a mirror in it because I need to let every woman know that she is beautiful. I need for her to be able to look in that mirror and not see the outer, but see what's on the inside of her. She is beautiful. Man, you're beautiful. Not only will it have that in there, but it'll have a gift card. I'm looking to put a gift card in there. Something to make their day for Mother's Day. It's personal. I've never experienced abuse, thank God. But I know what it feels like to be alone. I know what it feels like to go through depression. I know what it feels like to be hurting inwardly and feeling like you can't share it with anybody. I know what that feels like, and I believe you do too. I believe you've had days that were sad and you just wanted to say, God help me, just being able to make it through the day, not knowing if you were going to see tomorrow. I know a lot of us have been through that. So this is to all of us. That's why it's personal. It's personal because I'm a woman and I know what this feels like. And I just want to be a sister to somebody. I want to have this sisterly bond. So let me tell you this. It's personal. It's not an event. It's a movement. I'm making a movement out of this. Yes, I'm making a movement out of it. It's personal. I don't want to just do It's Personal here in Columbus or in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I want It's Personal to go to different states, different cities where there are women's shelters. I want to encourage them up out of the place where they are to let them know that this is not your final destination. You're going to get more. You're going to do more. You're going to go further than where you are right now. And I come against the enemy and I command him to leave you alone. We can do that. We can cover our fellow sisters, and that's what I want to do. Oh, and each purse will have a book. Yes, we're going to give them your writings. So help me to help other women. And I encourage you to share this link so other women can buy this book and purchase this book. Let's get this book out. Let's share this word with other women so they'll know that they are extraordinary. And if you run across a woman today that has her head down, lift it up by telling her how extraordinary she is. You don't have to know her. You know God. God made us all a masterpiece. And one further thing before I let you go. I already am in the works to do 31 daily inspirations for magnificent men written by magnificent men. I'm so excited about that. I even have a kids one coming out. Look, we're going to be encouraging because there's nothing like men talking to other men. We can't talk to them. Y'all already know. It's nothing like men talking to other men. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Blessings to you all. Visit my website, DavetteWright.com. That's DAVETTE Wright, WRIGHT.com. Or visit my Facebook page, Spiritual Refresher, or NSpire Publishing, or just visit Nikki Wright on Facebook. Thank you all, and have the best day ever, because truly, you are the best ever. Bye-bye.